Going to a place of no-thing-ness. There is an aspect of life, or a state of being to life, the journey of exploration of our creativity was led to explore, which was not expected to be addressed. It is a state of being that has been described in many different ways. For truly creative endeavors to create something new, never seen before, it becomes very important, for it is a place to go where the new ideas and new thoughts can be accessed. In this regard, it is an important state of being we need to understand how to both enter and use it, but it is not a place to reside. On one hand, it appears hard to enter. On the other hand, it is a state of being we routinely enter and leave without realizing. We need to realize we go there more often than not. It is just that we have never considered it for what it is. That is, what we want to discuss here is that this state of being is actually something we can get to quite easily. This state of being has been described by many different names which arise from different schools of thought, but they all ultimately talk about the same thing. But there are several issues about this state of being that have been inadequately recognized relative to our creative power and creative ability. Before we proceed, here it needs to be remembered that the focus of this recording is directed at empowering our creativity and our creative imagination, and uses the creativity perspective. It is directed at stretching our perceptions about reality. Some of the concepts presented are analogies and serve a pedagogical purpose. One should not assume they are the exact way creation works, but are effective for our creativity and for the exploration of our creativity and of creation. Although these concepts may be used literally in some situations, you are encouraged to see them symbolically. This state of being has been described as a place of no-thingness, the source, the void, the origination point, a field of infinite possibilities, the traditional beginner's mind, a place of emptiness, being a hollow bone, a state of spontaneous and innocent childlike play of discovery and exploration of oneself and one's world, a place of no form, being in the flow of an unfolding energy, a mystical state of being, a shamanic state, an experience of the bright, a feeling of profound love, a state of bliss, joy, or ecstasy, or simply being out of mind or beyond mind. All of these different names suggest a great difference between what is being described by each of these names. The issue here is these names do not describe the actual state of being that is entered, for it is beyond what the human mind can comprehend. That is, the limited human mind is exploring the infinite. Rather, these names report the doorway that is used to enter this state, which in turn determines what is experienced or perceived within this state. It needs to be remembered each human is incredibly unique and each has a unique subjective perception. All these different names simply represent different subjective experiences the individuals had who enter this state. Those individuals who came from a similar tradition and contain similar past experiences will describe this state in similar terms, even though each has a unique subjective experience of this state of being. Simply said, the state of being is a state of being beyond mind. 5. Analogously, this state of being is like standing on a high mountain looking at the broad, vast, sweeping valley, then stepping down off the mountain, recalling what is remembered. There may be some exquisite details and even some power in knowing what is accessible in the valley. However, it will always be limited. Additionally, what is remembered is determined by how one's attention and awareness was focused in looking into the valley. These are aspects one will not see as a result of their focus. Individuals who have accessed this state of being have reported a variety of different experiences, and some return with powers or abilities. Some of these powers and abilities are reported as the siddhis in Eastern mysticism. The siddhis are reported as material, paranormal, supernatural, or otherwise seemingly magical powers, abilities, and attainments. Attainment of these abilities are seen to be products of certain yoga and meditation practice. Enamored by these abilities, many consciously seek to enter this state of being, often as a goal in practicing particular meditation and yoga techniques. Regardless of what one says they experience or what powers or abilities they access in this state of being, the one proof that there is something special about this state is that the individual who experiences it is profoundly changed in some way. They begin to live and act in the world differently. What they think about life and believe about the world and creation is different. When the individual who becomes changed by entering this state, they often ask by others, "How did you do what you did? How did you get these gifts? Can you show me how to get such an understanding, power, or way of being?" So the individual who is changed tells the other or others what they did, and this individual either tries to teach them what to do and understand, or show them in some way how they did it. Others then followed the guidance given, and different traditions developed relative to trying to access the state of being. This resulted in giving rise to all of the religion, spiritual, or metaphysical traditions and practices. Throughout history, relative to what you would call spiritual or religious traditions or metaphysical traditions, there is an individual or individuals who accessed this state of being and had a variety of different experiences. If you look carefully, you could trace almost all religions, spiritual or metaphysical unfoldment back to these subjective personal experience, some of which are simply called mystical experiences. What has arose out of all this is a belief that we as humans can somehow focus our attention and awareness through these practices and traditions and enter this state. However, the truth is we cannot find or access this state of being with our mind or follow some kind of a set procedures or way of being. It is something that is more or less stumbled into. We can create conditions that make it more probable, but yet is not something that we can go through the mind. In essence, we have to be out of mind in some way to get there. We have to suspend our thinking and let go of the thinking we know. We need to realize to be in our mind and attempt to go into a state of being out of mind. Our mind cannot get us there. So the question is, what do we do to enter this state of being? The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed there are 7 things that are being missed and not effectively understood that influence entering this state of being. One is, what is this state of being? A second thing is the incredible uniqueness and subjectivity of our perception. The third is the combination of what a person thinks and believes in their past experiences. The fourth is their life path for what they've incarnated to do. The fifth is the uniqueness of their body and, for lack of a better words, what we are wired to do and experience. The sixth is the need to be out of mind. The seventh is understanding the unseen has an attribute that is analogous to how clouds form in the sky. What is this state of being? At risk of sounding invasive, all that can really be said about this state of being is it contains the stuff of creation out of which all creation forms. What we can say is it has attributes of energy, consciousness, and a vibrating field with infinite possibilities. But these are only our mind's interpretation as to what we comprehend at this point in time. Exactly what this stuff is unknowable to the human mind. The reason for this is the human mind is limited, but this state of being is, in essence, the doorway to the infinity of creation and all possibilities that exist. The second thing to realize is the incredible uniqueness and subjectivity of our perception. In our incredible uniqueness, all that we experience is subjective. No one sees and experiences creation as we do. No one has our pain. No one has our joy. Here it needs to be realized that everything that exists that has not been created by what humans could call God and not created by nature started as a single thought in the mind of an individual. All of it. This includes everything, every spiritual tradition, every scientific tradition, every piece of music, art, written book, all forms of writing, all economic systems, all government systems, channeled information, contact with unseen realities, and anything that you can name created by humans. It all started with a single thought within one individual. Others then take the individual's thought and build on it or from it for whatever area is applicable, giving rise to what the human who takes this thought creates. As such, no matter what one reports about their experience of this state of being, it is their subjective experience. Even if 2 individuals obtain seemingly identical powers, whatever they may be as a result of having experienced this state of being, what they experience is unique to them. The question that needs to be asked is, How is the individual different as a result of what they experienced in entering this state of being? The third thing to realize about this state of being is any thought we have from experiencing a flow of energy will have two parts. The thought has a real part and an imaginary part. The real part is a result of the flow of energy that is giving rise to the experience we have and is what we feel in the experience. The feeling is real. This is relatively easy to understand. The imaginary part is our mind's interpretation through its creative imagination of the experience of that flow of energy. The illusion of mind is that mind uses all that it has within itself without thinking of how it will characterize the energy. It appears to look at all the information it has and looks for the best fit to match up the energy it experiences. The more the experience is different than anything it has previously experienced, the greater the inaccuracy of the characterization. Any interpretation of this energy by the brain is an illusion created by our mind by what it thinks and believes. If we have different beliefs and different experiences, we would characterize the energy differently. Hence, one reason why individuals describe their experience in the state of being so differently. It is the mind's characterization of the energy we sense into thoughts through our creative imagination. The creative imagination bases its characterization on what we think, believe, the experiences we have had in this and previous existences, our current environment, how we have focused our attention and awareness, and our underlying intentions which we hold with some passion, desire, or will to make happen. As such, what the individual experiences is greatly influenced by the intention one is holding. The fourth issue, which is very much overlooked, is our life path and what we incarnated to experience. One of the biggest realizations from the journey of exploration into our creativity was that we each have a life path, and the life path determines many of the experiences that we will have in our life. In this regard, there are individuals who incarnated seeing this state of being beyond mind is essential to their journey. They incarnate at a time and place where their life experiences and the individuals in their life help them to achieve what is planned for them. There is an assumption that an individual makes the choice entirely on their own as to whether or not they want to follow a particular spiritual path or tradition or pursue certain talents and abilities. But what is not recognized is that often it's already in their life path and the opportunities will be available to do it, or the situation is set up that they have the choice to do it. Those who are needed to help guide and develop the individual are available in their life, and this is quite common. It is just that people don't realize this. In fact, it's very interesting if you look at the stories, individuals who have done the deeper journey of exploration into their own being, they often see their life being somewhat guided. Not destined, but guided, for they've always had options to choose. So to think that we create certain experiences entirely on our own is not valid. Others often are there to assist, nudge, or guide us in some way. Others incarnate where following some type of tradition with the intent of trying to access some of the powers that are reported available through accessing this state of being is not in their life path. So no matter how hard they struggle, this is not something that they're going to achieve. Whereas things that are in their life path appear almost magically, with not necessarily minimum work, but work much less than somebody who is struggling to create something that isn't on their life path. Quite simply, when we seek to create something within our life path, it's like swimming with the current in the river. When we seek to create something that is outside our life path, it's like swimming upstream against the current. The fifth thing that is often not recognized is the uniqueness of our body. All human bodies are not created equal. They are all very similar, but each is very unique. In this regard, for lack of a better word, some are wired for certain experiences. In looking at athletes, it is common to talk about natural abilities and body structures. Similarly, many musicians and singers have certain built-in talents which only need to be developed. However, what is not recognized, there are unseen abilities that are often reported from accessing this state of being that some have a natural wiring for developing. Our bodies are energy structures, and there are abilities related to our unique energy structure. Some may just not have the energy structure for certain abilities. Men do not have the structure to have babies. So too, certain energetic abilities some humans possess. The sixth issue about this state of being is one needs to be outside of mind and outside of thought. There is a belief that we as humans can, by how we focus our attention and awareness, enter this state of exquisite bliss, joy, or inner satisfaction. Consequently, traditions and practices develop a variety of techniques which try and duplicate what some individuals report experiencing. However, we cannot find a way to go there with our mind, for it is a place beyond mind and lies outside of what mind knows. But we can create the space, and that allows ourselves to make it more probable to happen, and a big part is the intention we carry and why we carry the intention we do. Also, we need to realize we go there more often than is realized, for there are several things that occur routinely in life that give us, if not a glimmer, an actual experience of this state of being beyond mind, if we're open to what we really are experiencing. Because one needs to be out of mind to be in this state, observations indicated the need for creating a quiet mind. The development of meditation has been one such practice used to help increase the possibility of entering this state of being. Still, it is not something obtained through the mind. However, as one can come to see, the proper intent accompanied by a sufficient passion and asking for guidance, then surrendering to the intuitive guidance received, can lead to this state of being beyond mind. The seventh issue with this state of being is understanding the unseen, to which is a state of being is the doorway. This attribute is important relative to our creativity, especially when we are seeking to create something totally original and never before experienced. Mind only knows the past and what it has previously experienced. As such, it is of little value and little use, and one literally needs to be out of mind as to how to go about creating the totally original creation. As said previously, when we experience an energy, our mind will characterize what we experience into a thought. But what we are looking to create has never existed before. The question is, does the energy exist already, or is it an energy that we create that we then experience and create what we desire? But in either case, we have no idea what we are really looking for because we haven't been there before. So the question is, where do the thoughts come from when something has never been seen or experienced before? Based on the journey of exploration into our creativity, it seems this state of being can create the conditions to generate the thoughts we need to create something new and original. It has an attribute analogous to how clouds form in the sky. If we look up in the sky and you don't see any clouds, the question that can be asked is, from where do the clouds come? The answer is the sun supplies the heat, which causes water to evaporate. The water vapor goes up into the atmosphere. When enough water vapor collects for the given air temperature, the air becomes saturated. Water droplets or ice crystals form. The droplets or ice crystals begin to form the clouds, and the clouds become visible. Eventually, when the air temperature is right and the clouds are heavy enough, it condenses with the water within, and the water falls out as snow or rain. The way the process appears to work to get the original thought is that our intention acts analogous to seed crystals used to grow larger crystals in the process that forms clouds. The intention we hold acts like a seed crystal inserted into a supersaturated solution or molten material cooling that allows for the growth of a large crystal over the seed. The process of seeding the crystal's growth avoids the slower randomness of natural crystal growth. Analogously, so too creating the thoughts we need. For something new and never before experienced, we can sit and contemplate to look at things that could possibly work. However, to do this, it's very much in mind looking for a solution that does not yet exist. We may stumble upon something and we may have insights about what we desire to create. However, being an original creation, we can acknowledge we do not know or do not have any idea of what is needed. To hold this perspective is to step out of mind, and in doing so, we open ourselves for the creative inspiration that this state of being out of mind can provide. But there is an alternative and a little more organized way to get the creative solution we seek. It is to formulate a clear intention to what is desired and identify any attributes what we feel for whatever reason we desire. Then we hold that desire with some level of energy and passion, like a deep heartfelt longing for that desire. The passion then acts as the sun heating the water to make the rain cloud. Our desire, with the appropriate passion, creates the seed conditions for our desired creation, symbolically forming the essence of a cloud in the unseen. By willing to sit in the unknown and with the intention and desire to create that new original creation, with whatever attributes we desire is appropriate, we will pull to us the insights we need. Here we need to see the energy and passion we put into our desire is like adding more water vapor to the cloud to form. As in the diagram, the desired forms into an analogous cloud in the unseen. With the intent to manifest with some passion, the cloud takes on a new form, a new life in the unseen. Then, more passionate desire we add, we move to the cloud with the lightning. Here we hold our desire and add whatever passion we can into our desire, and then let it go, trusting the universe will manifest what we need. Holding our intention with passion, we put more and more energy into the answer we seek until we get it dense enough as a heavy rain cloud to manifest. As the unseen process forms the cloud, then creating rain, the water then solidifies and taking shape into an ice cube. Our focused intention and passion brings forth the flow of energy, which can be characterized by our mind as the insights we need to manifest the new original creation in the manifested form. The issue is, what are we looking for? What is our intention when we step into this state of being? If we are looking to step into it for something like an inner joy or peace or happiness or some kind of magical powers, the best we can do is stumble into it. One can sit there for years and years and years doing practices and maybe never get there. But if you're just looking for creative solutions and you're looking to open to what the universe offers us, and in the way it offers it to us, it is easy to get there and easy to get the answers from the state of being beyond mind. In actuality, we can step into this way of being without much trouble. It's all a matter of perspective. How do we get into this state of being, or maybe better said, how do we dance with this state to enter it and access the energy to bring forth the creative solutions we desire, or to create that life we seek as a life worth living for the time and place of our incarnation? As said previously, when one enters this state, one is profoundly changed in some way. One begins to live and act in the world differently. What we think about life and believe about the world and creation is different. Probably the most important thing to realize is that the focus of our attention and our awareness and the intention we hold as to why we are seeking or doing what we do has a significant impact on what we experience. This is especially true as to how we experience the state of being beyond mind and what we access when we do. The easiest way to observe to get into this state of being is to align with the flow of our creative life energy that sustains our being. It will always be with us, and its flow will carry us until the energy is somehow dissipated at the time of our death. We align with this flow of energy through our heartfelt creative passion. That is, we feel the pull within our being to create or experience something. When we experience what we are being called to do, there is an inner satisfaction and a knowing this is what we are meant to do. It is about aligning with this flow and learning to navigate from the heart. That is, allow our heart to lead and be in this feeling, and use our mind to figure out how to create the experiences in life to live in this feeling. In this alignment, there is a calmness within our being, and we have all the creative insights we need. It is as though the universe is communicating directly to us. A second way to step into this state of being is to become a causal consciousness, or a causal creator. This is about focusing our attention and awareness and the desires on the problem to be solved. The focus of our consciousness gives rise to a flow of energy through the process described above, analogous to the formation of rain clouds. Our being can then capture the energy, turning it into a thought to direct us to the solution we seek. A similar process is to contemplate a problem for which you have no idea as to how to solve it and seems to have no solution. Looking for the solution to a problem for which you have no solution does not mean it does not exist. It just means you don't have it. To think about something where you have no idea of a solution takes one to the state of being beyond mind. You have no solution, so mind has no idea as to what to observe. This is the basis of a koan. A koan is something given to an individual seeking enlightenment. It is often something paradoxical to the mind that forces one out of mind or in something that has no solution to awaken an individual to enlightenment. A third process is to quiet the mind. This is often why meditation is recommended. The basis of meditation is, in essence, to quiet the mind. Our thoughts arise from the energy we sense. Since mind responds to energy, most meditation practices use a very fixed body position, that is, no body movement, and forces one's awareness to observe the space between thoughts. In doing this, one is focusing their awareness into this state of being beyond mind. The more one can quiet their movement and remove energetic distractions of any type, the quieter a mind can become. In focusing on the place of nothingness, one can see beyond one's normal perception and enter a state of being beyond mind. The issue with meditation is, for what purpose does one meditate? If the intent of the meditation is seeking a spiritual experience, the individual becomes open to such an experience. But it is the intention that pulls one into the spiritual experience, for there are other methods other than meditation that can be used to take one there. So if one is being directed to meditate by some meditation teacher who subscribes to a tradition or was trained within a tradition, that tradition will spill over into you. If you wish to meditate for any reason, it is recommended you consult your intuition and allow your own intuition to lead you to the appropriate teacher if you need one. An alternative to meditation is just to be present to what is. It's about the awareness of what is and what is unfolding in and before you. In doing so, one can become aware of what is at the deepest levels of their being. Similarly, focus on breathing and just feel the breath. It is to focus on the feeling of the breath and the rise and the fall of the chest. Doing so takes one out of mind and into feeling and being in the flow of one's own life and the life energy that flows from the source. One of the easiest ways to enter this state of being beyond mind is becoming lost in a state of spontaneous and innocent childlike play of discovery of oneself and one's world. It focuses our attention and awareness outside any preconceived thoughts and judgments. It is open. It is to be lost in the beginner's mind. The intuition surfaces information based on the mindset and how one focused their mind when entering that state of play. This is why creative brainstorming sessions where one is able to simply play with ideas can be so powerful. The most important thing to realize about entering this state of being beyond mind is the intention we carry when accessing this state of being is of extreme importance. In being in a state of being beyond mind, one can look to have an awareness of what is. What we access and can come to understand about creation depends on the intention we carry. It is recommended one sufficiently pull the string on any intention they hold when there is a reasonable probability of entering this state of being. This can, of course, give rise to a variety of experiments to access through this state of being beyond mind and see what one can come to understand about creation.